Welcome to Blackboard Training on video. This section will cover columns and categories in the Grade Center. There are two options for the Grade Center: categories or columns. Categories are helpful in organizing the Grade Center. The category is a classification of a column. Grade Center has several default categories, including assignment, test, blog, wiki, survey, and discussion. Default categories cannot be modified or removed. Instructor can also generate additional categories to classify their Grade Center items, such as labs, homework, or quizzes. While the column may have a title such as essay or final, they are classified in the Grade Center as assignment or possibly test. If you have a large number of Grade Center items, i.e. more than 10, it's a good idea to create categories for each type of Grade Center item. There are two types of columns: a grade column and a calculated column. Grade columns are calculated two ways: automatically by the creation of an assignment or a test, and manually by the instructor using the create column function. Let's create and edit a category. Click Manage and click Categories. To create a category, click Create Category. Give the category a name and, if necessary, a description. Then click Submit. The category appears in your category list. Deleting a category is relatively easy as well. Just click the box next to the category, or click the Action button and click Delete. Click OK to return to the Grade Center. The reason we create categories is so we can edit or create calculated columns. The Grade Center actually has a calculated column built for you for a weighted total. So instead of creating a weighted total grade, we can edit it. Click the Action button and click Edit Column Information. The column name is already there, so we don't need to change it. And then we can add a description. Let's choose our weights. Our weights have to equal 100%. So I choose a category. If I choose columns, I have to choose all of the columns. However, if I create categories and use the categories in my weighted column, I just click the category. Once I've created all of my columns, once I've chosen all my categories, once I've added all my categories in, click to make sure that those categories all equal 100%. Once I've added all my categories in, click to make sure that it equals 100%. One other advantage to weighted columns is that you can drop the lowest grade if you so desire. By creating categories, all the items within that category are added together and then given a weight. The rest of the options leave by themselves and click Submit. Now your weighted column is completed. Notice the green check mark. The green check mark means Notice the green check mark. The green check mark means that this column is Notice the green check mark. The green check mark means that this column is set as the green check mark. Notice the green check mark. The green check mark means that this column is set as Green check mark means that this column is set as the external grade. When you create a weighted total column, make sure it is the external grade. This is the final grade the student sees when they click the report card on the My Grades page. This is the final grade that the student sees when they click My Grades. Instructors can also create a column without creating an assignment. Instructors can also manually create a column. Create column. Give the column a name. and a description if necessary. Set the primary display as score, percentage, whatever. Set the primary display, score is fine. And make sure that you give it a category. Notice the column name is homework, so I'm going to categorize this as homework. I can put a due date on here as well, and this will show on my students' to-do list. I can enter a date, and this date will show on my students' to-do list. And click Submit. Make sure that you enter points possible. Give the column a category and enter points possible. You can set a due date by clicking the Due Date button and the calendar. Select the date. Click Submit. And your new column appears at the end of the column. This concludes this tutorial of columns and categories in the Blackboard Grade Center.